Welcome to the big show. This is Investing with Confidence. I am your host, Joshua David, and we are happy to have you with us today. I always have my good friend, my good pal. He's looking good. As always, my good friend, Mr. Al Connickson. How are you doing today, mister?
Well, you know what? I'm doing pretty good, Josh, and you're looking good yourself.
Pretty dapper, huh?
Two dapper guys just hanging around.
As they say up north, eh?
Way up north, they say that.
It's always great to be back, helping our listeners make better investing decisions. Al, we had another. I feel like a broken record every single week, talking about these great opportunities we see in these financial markets. S&P's had some pretty good drops the first few days of the week, showing some nice red days, which is a great opportunity. We'll talk about some of that stuff here today. Same thing with Dow, the NASDAQ, some great opportunities there. We talk a lot about oil every single week. The oil market has been kind of stagnant. Great for you options traders. And the U.S. dollar, that's been a big one. We had some ECB news come out this week, which, it kind of impacts the dollar, but the dollar is king. Dollar rules everything in the financial markets. And that's some of the things we're going to talk about here today on Investing with Confidence, is how we can make smarter investing decisions within our accounts. Now, when I talk about accounts, that could be in income accounts, or that could be in wealth accounts,
right,
which could be 401ks, IRAs, TSPs, 403bs. It's just making smarter decisions within those and doing that with the confidence. And we talk about the difference of trading and investing between the smart money and the novice or the public. And that's what some of the big things that Online Trading Academy covers, is how to trade like them. By the way, Online Trading Academy on their 25th year of providing exceptional, world-class trading and investing education. Right here in Bloomington, we're a local academy, have a couple different classrooms. Al, you actually teach classes in those different classrooms. And when I mention these institutions and the novice, we talk about the differences of success. And really how the markets work is it's an exchange of money or an exchange of capital from the people that don't know what they're doing to the people that do. And it feels like sometimes the institutions, they have an inside or an in with TV and internet, and they're telling things that they want the public to do and kind of taking advantage of them, right?
Yep.
So why are they so good? What are some of the tools, techniques that they utilize to really generate income in the financial markets?
Well, you mentioned that the trading and investing really is the transfer of assets from the people that don't know what they're doing into the accounts of people that know what they're doing. So who are those two groups? And because that's typically what happens in any trade or investment, there's two sides to the trade. The people that don't know what they're doing, that's typically the public. The people that know what they're doing, that's the institutions. That's the big players, the big firms, Goldman Sachs, the hedge fund managers. And people know that those guys are successful. And that's what is very frustrating to them. They see the success that these people have. I mean, some of these hedge fund managers, Josh, are bringing in $1 billion a year.
What are they doing differently, though? Because the public typically just gets into trades for no rhyme or reason. What is the institutions doing a little bit differently?
Well, first of all, let's go back to the fact that there's two sides to a trade.
Yep.
So the institutions, if they want to win, and do you think they're in the markets to win?
I would think they are.
Absolutely. They need to have somebody basically to be kind of in a losing position. So they might say things or do things that would cause the public, who's really the opposite side of the trades from them, to do something that the institutions need them to do. Because these guys understand price. And that's the most important thing for anybody, is to understand when to buy and when to sell. That's identifying the right price to get into something, the right price to get out of something.
And they're doing that ahead of time, right?
Well, that's what we want you to be able to do, is to identify where the buyers are going to be before they come in the market in a large amount, and where the sellers are before they come into the market. So you can be positioned to get in basically at the beginning of a trend and out at the end of a trend, which is what the institutions really are causing those trends.
Yeah.
They're creating them. And fortunately for us and the strategy that we have our students use, it does, in fact, identify with a high degree of accuracy where their unfilled orders are, where they're just waiting. It's sort of like an area, what we call a zone, where there might be millions of buy orders just waiting to be filled, and millions of sell orders waiting to be sold. And the key then is to be able to identify where those are. Fortunately for us, it's just following the guys that are developing, that are creating those zones, and they show us on a price chart how to do that.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You said we want you to do the same. We want our listeners to hopefully be able to do the same as these institutions, because what's the difference there is it's not like they're rocket scientists or anything. They are everyday people, just like the public, just like a lot of our listeners, but the only difference is the education. Talk about why it's so important to learn the skills that they use. And these skills and techniques and tools, we actually have access to these.
Right. And it's not too dissimilar from casinos, Josh. There's two parties to a casino, to those environments. One is the casino, the house, and one is the gambler, the people walking in off the street. The casinos are successful. They don't show up every day crossing their fingers going, I hope we make money today. I hope we make money today.
They already had a plan for it.
They had a plan. They know that they're going to win because they have the odds in their favor. They have a set of rules that they follow for every game that they have. And the same thing is true in the financial markets. There are rules that you can follow that will put the odds in your favor of having the trades go in the direction you want them to go more often than not, and also to do that with low risk and high profit potential. And that's the key, is to have that high profit potential.
Yeah, that is that key, is to have that potential. But you have to do that by placing those odds in your favor. You had mentioned about having a plan, knowing where you're going to get in, but also where you're going to get out before they do that. And we want to trade like those banks and not against them. I was doing some stuff with in investing class with some people here today, and we were talking about, and one of the things I have people write down is trade like a bank, not against them. We're never going to beat them. Right. What do we want to do? We want to join them. Where you start, or where you begin to understand how they're moving the markets, why they're moving the markets, how to make smarter decisions is investing classes. It starts with a little bit of knowledge, right? So Al, you teach these investing classes right here in Bloomington. I mean, a lot of our instructors have came from the floors of the exchange. You were actually a broker for many years, so you know the ins and the outs, what the public is being told, why they're being told to do certain things, and then how to make smarter decisions, just knowing that knowledge within your accounts. And when we're talking about accounts that kicked off the show, that could be income accounts, 401ks, to IRAs. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's in the market. So I want to give away some tickets to this investing class, Al, for callers 1 through 10. When you call in right now, you're going to receive two things. When you call in, you're going to receive 2 tickets. You can bring a spouse with you or a family member. You're also going to receive a cryptocurrency foundations course. Cryptocurrency is so important right now. Right now, the cryptocurrency market is the internet 1995. Think about that. If you were in the understand how the internet worked in 95, you've probably done very well in your investing career because you got in early. So we're giving that to our listeners, a free cryptocurrency course when you register. Call 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. We're going to send you a link back right away. You got to click the link and pick a date within that link, and you're going to receive that cryptocurrency course when you do that. Al, we got a big show. What do you got coming up next?
Well, let's talk about, as a trader or investor, what's as or more important than knowing what to do.
The importance of knowing what to do, plus a little bit of a little teaser on what you might not know yet. 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets. This is Josh and Al. We'll be right back.